Hello and welcome back to Jack's Hobby Station. Today I will be building AFVs 1/35 scale M18. First, let's start by previewing the kit. Next, let's start working on the suspension by working on the drivetrain and the tension wheel holders. Next, let's start working on the rest of the suspension for the road wheels. Next, I added the rear engine panel and added some pieces onto it. After that, I worked on the drive, tension, and roller wheels. Next, I moved onto the interior, first working on the combat room floor. Next, I worked on and added the panel dividing the combat room from the engine bay. Then I added the combat floor and worked on the transmission. After adding the transmission, I worked on the driver and co-driver seats. Next, I added the ammo storage and some shells. After that, I drilled out some holes so I could add the tools. Next, I started adding pieces onto the upper hull, such as the horn and the lights. Next, I added the vision ports onto the driver and co-driver hatches. After adding the gas cap, I added the tools and the MG stand. After that, I saw the kit didn't include any pieces nor say what to use to add on the hooks on the transmission cover. After that, I started to work on the cannon breech. When adding the cannon breech, I noticed I added a piece too far back, so I had to cut it down. And after that, I started to work on the controls for the gunner and add the turret crew's seats. Next, I started working on the outside of the turret by adding the storage baskets and adding the gunner's vision port. Next, I added some lifting hooks and started to work on the other side of the turret. Next, I started to work on the 50 cal by making the ammo can. Then I added the gun lock. And after adding everything onto the turret, I experimented with some green stuff and made a awful tarp and gun cover. So I decided to remake it and use baby powder instead of water. So first I started by mixing the two compounds and I added baby powder on a piece of paper so the green stuff doesn't stick to things. Next I rolled it out using a roller from Mod Podge. After rolling it out, I cut the shape using a piece of box cutter, then I pushed off the excess baby powder from it so it would stick to the model. Next I added it onto the gun mantle and cut the shape. After adding some smaller pieces of tarp, I made a new piece of tarp and I added it to the top of the turret and molded it into position. Next, I used the extra bits and made a roll of tarp, and I added it onto one of the storage holders. After that, I made some more using aluminum foil and used tomato tape as the piece that holds it together. Then I used some storage pieces from Tamiya and other miscellaneous items. Next, I added the hooks onto a piece of metal for the towing hooks. After that, I added some boxes and other bigger pieces. After that, I added some smaller pieces and added a thicker piece of tarp. Next, I added some canteens on the strap and added it to the model. After adding the canteens, I added some straps using strap sprues.
We're proud to tell the world that we are Max Destroyer Men. We're on to fight the enemy, then we'll be back again. We come from almost every state in the good old USA.
And last but not least, I added a gas can under a strap and added the antenna using a piece of stretch sprue. And that's the end of today's video. This kit has good details, but the fit for some of the pieces isn't too great. I think it turned out great with all the storage. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a great day.